Welcome to day 225 of our Let's Grow Annual Challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and today we are talking about confidence growth. Of course, we're focusing on confidence growth this entire month. We're talking about today's topic is ego and identity. And for an action item today, I just came up with the idea in my book and on a piece of paper, however you want to do it. I wrote ego on one side and identity on the other. And what I'm going to do is I go about the day today, and you're going to do the same thing, is notice when you're thinking and behaving and taking action from your ego versus your identity. Now, our ego is tied to our confidence. Ego and identity are both closely tied to our confidence. And we've got Kevin's story and guide to the Let's Grow Annual Challenge private Facebook group page. So you can check that out and how it impacted different areas and aspects of his life. And I think as a human being, I've been through all these stages. And I think that most of us go through stages where when we're growing up and when we're young and when we're adolescents and teenagers and even young adults, what other people think we should do has a huge impact on our identity and our ego, who we think we are, who we are becoming as human beings is determined a lot of by early on in our life by outside forces, things that we think we should do. At least that's what happened to me through probably my 30s and up till my 40s. I was totally operating on what I thought would make me the right type person, the type person I always thought I should be. And some of those things matched totally with my core values, which ties into our identity, and other things did not match. I was running through my life and hustling and missing out on things that were really important and core to my being, raising my kids and being present for their activities in their lives was the most important priority to me and most important core value. Yet, because of my corporate work and because of my businesses, sometimes I was taken away from situations that I wanted to participate in. My last corporate job, my second to the last corporate job, I went on like 24 trips in an 8-week period, which was mind-boggling, and not just in the United States. So it was crazy busy. And my kids were young. My ex-husband ended up getting pneumonia, and I missed the kids' birthdays, my anniversary, my ex's birthday, everything all in that period of time. And I was like, yeah, this is just not worth it. So our identity comes from within us. This is my opinion, and you have to think about it for yourself today. But as far as I'm concerned, our identity is what's core and matches our core values. It's who we really are. It's who we authentically are. Our ego is kind of like the masks and the costumes and the roles we play because other people and the world thinks that we should. That's my easiest way of understanding and defining it. So as I go about the day today, I'm going to say, okay, did I say that or do that thing because of my ego? Or did I say that because I think that other people think I should say that, or that's what a grandma should say? Or did I say that because that's what I really mean? That's what I really feel. So some lessons that we'll learn from Kevin's story, and you can look these up if you want in guide 2, are, of course, that we need to embrace and really get into self-reflection. We need to pay attention to ourselves, what we're thinking, what we're feeling, what we're doing, how we're behaving. And sometimes we need to identify why we do that and where that comes from. Other times we just have to say, okay, I know I just did that or said that, but that's really not me. So I'm going to choose differently. I'm not going to think that way or behave that way or believe that way anymore because it wasn't my belief anyway. I just adopted it from some of my friends or from my parents or from my great Aunt Tilly. Sometimes we don't even know where these things come from, yet we act on them as if they are us, and they actually are not us at all. We want to seek authenticity. We need to really, and that's part of self-reflection, is figuring out who am I really? What is important to me? It doesn't matter what's important to anyone else. What matters is what's core to you, what's central to you, and what's important to you. Your priorities are your most important priorities. Everybody else's are their most important priorities. And we don't have to judge anybody else's. We only need to really judge our own. Is this a match of who I am and who I really want to be and how I want to show up in the world? Or is it something that, because of a past experience, I've decided that this is me, but it's really not me at all? We want to balance ego and identity. Our ego helps to make us feel confident in different situations, right? So it's important. Both the ego and the identity are critical to who we are, yet we don't want our ego overpowering our identity and who we really are, because our ego, again, comes from external factors. Our identity comes from internal factors. And we get to create our own lives and decide who we are. We want to learn from our setbacks. I talk about this a lot, about challenges and setbacks and obstacles and bad stuff that happens in our lives. Happens in everybody's lives. I mean, sometimes we look at other people's lives, and remember, we only see the tip of the iceberg, and we think, oh my God, they've got it so much easier. Why, poor me? But the truth is, everyone has the set of challenges, the set of obstacles that is right for them to become the person that they're meant to be. And sometimes it's really hard to embrace that, especially when bad things happen in our lives. But the truth is, the bad things happen just to make us stronger and to learn and to show us what we're really made of, and that we can overcome any challenges that come our way. And finally, focus on personal growth, personal growth, personal growth. This whole challenge, my annual challenges, our annual challenges, are all about personal growth and development, and building on the knowing that if we do one little thing every day, we improve exponentially in a year, versus people that just really aren't doing anything, or they're doing hodgepodge things, or they're sucked into the news, or they're living vicariously through their children or other people, etc., or through famous people, and they're not really living their own lives. So again, what we're doing today, ego, identity. Just pay attention. Just writing the columns on a piece of paper means that I will personally pay more attention to that today. Am I acting out of my ego? Am I acting out of my identity? And am I thinking or believing from my ego or from my identity? And again, we want to balance them, but I say if you're going to emphasize one more than the other, emphasize your identity, because you get to decide who you are from the inside out. I always think of Cinderella when they actually call her Cinderella. That outside force changes the way she sees herself for a while. And that happens to all of us. But as soon as we become aware of it, it loses its power. If we realize it's something from outside of us, and that's something we can't control, we cannot control what other people think about us. And to be honest, we shouldn't care, because it doesn't matter. What matters is how we think and how we feel and how we choose and behave for ourselves. Any questions? Hit me up. Otherwise, have an awesome day. And I will, of course, be with you tomorrow for another confidence growth related topic that we can take a single step in action to improve in our life. Have an awesome day.